All right, let's do another dive on Ed Bickert. So, I want to give you some recommendations for a few lovely recordings that Ed made with various vocalists. There are, of course, the Rosemary Clooney records, which those are the ones that tend to come up most often if you think of Ed and vocalists, as they had the most exposure. They were on the Concord label in the 80s, and Rosemary Clooney was, of course, a smash pop star, given her early work with Bing Crosby and the movie White Christmas. And those are all incredible. There's 5 albums that Ed was a part of with Rosemary, and between the 5 there are 9 selections in which they play duo. So Ed and Rosemary, and they're amazing. But those are really some of the most prominent vocalist recordings that people know about Ed. So I want to give you some other options if you're interested in hearing amazing examples of Ed playing duo with a singer. Salome Bey, known as Canada's First Lady of Blues. She was born in New Jersey, but cut her teeth after moving to Toronto in the early 60s. This is her debut record from 1970 on the Canadian Talent Library label. And this was one that, as the name suggests, it features Canadian talents. And Ed played on a whole bunch of records that CTL put out in the 60s and 70s. And in 1977, Ed had his own release under CTL, an album called I Like to Recognize the Tune. It's a decent record. There's some cool string orchestral arrangements, and Ed plays a little bit of nylon. Not a whole lot of improvising, but it's a nice album. Anyways, this is from 1970, and it's a bit of a deeper cut. This had a very limited release. It was reissued in the 80s after Salome had more exposure to a broader market as she was winning awards on Broadway shows and was doing a lot of work with original musical theater productions. But we're going to listen to Ed playing the tune Stardust, Hoagie Carmichael, with Salome Bey from 1970.
And now the purple dust of twilight time steals across the meadow of my heart. High up in the sky, the little stars climb, always reminding me that we're apart. You wander down the lane and far away, leaving me a song that will not die. Love is now the stardust of yesterday, the music of the years gone by. Sometimes I wonder why I spend the lonely night dreaming of a song. The melody haunts my brain.
Lovely record, right? A little harder to find. It's not on Spotify, but there are ways. Now let's move on to a couple decades later, another recording with Salome Bey. It's from 1992, and it's a nice record. You know, small group ensemble with Ed playing tunes, a couple originals from Salome. But they do a duo version of As Time Goes By. Of course, most famous from Casablanca. That's really the theme song of that movie with Sam, the piano man, at the club playing that in a couple of really beautiful scenes. So let's listen to As Time Goes By.
This day and age we're living in gives cause for apprehension with speed and new invention and things like third dimension. Yet we get a trifle weary with Mr. Einstein's theory. So we must get down to earth at times, relax, relieve the tension. No matter what the outcome or what may yet be proved, the simple facts of life are such they cannot be removed. You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
All right, so that's Ed and Salome playing the verse together from As Time Goes By. Some really stunning chord work from Ed there, as always, but there's a never-ending fount of surprise, I'll put it that way. Let's move on to our next one. This is Joe Coughlin and his debut record. Recorded in 1981, this is a fantastic singer. He actually won CBC's Search for the Stars in 1979 and was fronting a metal band in Ontario called White Heat, but he went on to do jazz, and we are very lucky to him. We are lucky that that happened because I think Ed's playing with Joe is some of the finest duo playing I have ever heard from Ed. So here's When Sunny Gets Blue. This is also one of my favorite tunes now because Ed has so many versions of it. And I know Ed knew every tune ever, but, and maybe it's happenstance, but he did record this tune a number of times in different settings. And I think I really sort of pair this tune with Ed's playing now. So here's When Sunny Gets Blue with Joe Coughlin.
When sunny gets blue, her eyes get gray and cloudy, then the rain begins to fall. Pitter, 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 love is gone, so what can matter? No sweet lover man comes to call. When sunny gets blue, she breathes a sigh of sadness, like the wind that stirs the trees, wind that sets the tree to swaying, like some violins weird and haunting melodies. People used to love That's how she got her name.
Wow. That is, woo, out of sight. We're going to move on to another Joe Coughlin cut from his second record. It's actually called Second Debut, is the album. The tune is Deep in a Dream, Jimmy Van Heusen. This one's pretty much God tier solo guitar playing. Check it out.
I've always been a dreamer, for I was born that way. And I was born to love you, keep dreaming of you each day. I dim all the lights and I sink in my chair. The smoke from my cigarette climbs through the air. The walls of my room fade away in the gloom, and I'm deep in a dream of you. The smoke makes a stairway for you to descend. You come to my arms, may this bliss never end, for we love anew, just like we used to do. And I'm deep in a dream of you. Then from the ceiling, sweet music comes stealing. We glide through a lover's refrain. You're so appealing that I'm soon revealing my love for you over again. My cigarette burns me, I wake with a start. My hand doesn't hurt, but there's pain in my heart. Awake or asleep, it's the memories that I'll keep when I'm deep in a dream of you.
Holy hell. That's the one. And I'm so sorry to leave you when Ed is going to play a half chorus of solo guitar. Genius. But go check it out. Joe Coughlin. His stuff is on Spotify and Bandcamp. You can find it pretty easily. And that's one I'm absolutely going to be breaking down. Again, when I think of Ed's duo playing abilities with a singer, that's the first one that comes to mind. It's gorgeous. The tune is beautiful and his playing is absolutely sublime. Moving on to the end of Ed's career. This is around 1998 with Trudy Desmond, not related to Paul Desmond, by the way, but Trudy was a singer from New York City who also spent time in Toronto, and an original member of the Doctor Music Ensemble with Doug Riley and a whole bunch of other top calls in the Toronto 70s scene. But she has 3 or 4 records of jazz, her singing jazz, and Ed is featured on a lot of it. There was other guitarists like Gene Burton Bert Encini and Ted Quinlan that are on some of these records. But here's a nice duo version of the Gershwin tune, My One and Only.
To show affection in your direction, you know I'm fit and able. I'm more than merely love you sincerely. My cards are on the table. There must be lots of other gals you hypnotize. All of a sudden, I've begun to realize as follows. My one and only, what am I gonna do if you turn me down? When I'm so crazy over you, I'd be so lonely. Where am I gonna go if you turn me down? Why blacken all my skies of blue? I tell you I'm not asking for a miracle. It can be done, it can be done. I know a clergyman.
Okay, moving on to the last one of this video. Also coming at you from 1998 is Ed's work with Shirley Eikhard on her album Going Home. The record after this was Shirley called The Last Hurrah. I'm pretty certain that's one of Ed's very last commercial recordings that's been released. He quit playing in about the summer of the year 2000, and that album came out in the year 2000. So I'm not exactly sure when they recorded it, but I would have to imagine it was probably in 1999 or perhaps early 2000, depending on the release. But anyways, this is, well, Shirley Eikhard was a singer, signed to Capitol Records as a teenager, and she was one of Canada's most successful songwriters. She actually had written music that Anne Murray recorded, and in 91, Bonnie Raitt made a smash hit out of her song, Something to Talk About. Her songs were recorded by Cher, Emmylou Harris, and all kinds of other folks. So she was a prolific songwriter and performer. Towards the end of her, well, in the latter part of her career, she died in 2022, unfortunately. In the latter part, she started doing some jazz records in the 90s. And of course, who do you call? Ed Bickert. This is an original song called Emily Remembers.
Emily remembers the dances at her high school when she was young and carefree, some 40 years ago. Emily remembers standing on the bleachers, cheering for the home team, her hair all wet with snow. If she forgets today's her birthday, and if it's Tuesday, she's not sure. If she forgets to comb her hair now, I remember it Emily remembers her weekends in the country, those walks down by the river on Sunday afternoons. Emily remembers her holiday in Paris, those evenings at the ballet beneath an August moon. If she forgets that I'm her best friend, and how inseparable we were, if she forgets how much she needs me, I remember it for her. If she forgets how much she loves me, I remember it for
Woo! Wow. I had to play the entire recording for that because, geez, hauntingly beautiful. So there you go. That's some of Ed's finer examples of duo recordings with singers that you may not be aware of. I hope you enjoyed this dive, and go listen to these records and these examples all the way through and let me know what you think.